27 years old, I'd spend 2 months in a nursing home, I would have laughed. I never thought I'd end up there. Not yet, at least. But life has a way of teaching us lessons when we least expect it. I went in thinking it was just temporary, a brief stay for recovery. But those 2 months changed me. They opened my eyes to things I had never seen before. About aging, about regrets, about life itself. Some lessons were painful, others enlightening, but all of them were necessary. I met people who had been there for years. Some had family visit them, others had been forgotten. Some were at peace, others were filled with regret. And in those quiet conversations and long nights of reflection, I learned 7 lessons that I believe everyone, young or old, needs to hear. Because no matter how young you are today, one day you will be old too. And when that time comes, what kind of life will you have lived? Number 1. Loneliness is the greatest disease. You might think that a nursing home is just about medical care, about food and shelter. But what I realized is that the biggest struggle is not physical, it's emotional. It's loneliness. There are people here who haven't had a visitor in months, sometimes years. Their children are too busy. Their friends are gone. And no matter how good the staff is, they can't replace the warmth of family. The hardest part of growing old is realizing that the world moves on without you. I learned that loneliness is the heaviest burden of old age, and I wish I had built stronger relationships before I got here. I wish I had spent less time chasing money and more time making meaningful connections. Number 2. Health is more valuable than wealth. I met a man who used to be a successful businessman. He owned multiple properties, had luxury cars, traveled the world, but now his body has betrayed him. He cannot eat without assistance. He cannot walk. His wealth means nothing in a place where his own body refuses to obey him. No matter how rich you are, you cannot buy back your health. If I could go back, I would take better care of my body. I would exercise more, eat better, and stress less. Because in the end, what good is money if you don't have the strength to enjoy it? Number 3. Material things lose their meaning. I once had a house filled with things, furniture, clothes, decorations collected over the years. Now I live in a single room with a few belongings. And you know what? I don't miss any of it. The things we spend our lives accumulating will eventually become meaningless. The only things that matter in the end are the memories we made and the people we shared them with. If I could go back, I'd spend more time creating moments, not collecting objects. Number 4. Independence is precious. Imagine living your whole life being independent, making your own choices, and suddenly you have to ask for help to do the simplest things, getting dressed, using the bathroom, eating a meal. That is the reality of many here. If you can still move, still think clearly, still do things on your own, cherish it. Don't take it for granted, because the day you lose your independence, you will realize it was one of the greatest gifts life ever gave you. Number 5. True happiness comes from simple things. There was a woman here, 85 years old, who always had a smile on her face. I asked her one day, "What's your secret to happiness?" She said, "I don't think about what I lost. I enjoy what I still have." She taught me that happiness isn't in the big things. It's in the simple moments. A good conversation, a warm cup of tea, the feeling of sunlight on your face. When you stop chasing happiness, you realize it was always in the little things. Number 6. Forgiveness brings peace. As I spent my days in the nursing home, I saw many people carrying the weight of old grudges, resentments towards their children, past friends, even their late spouses. And I noticed something. The people who held on to bitterness were the ones who suffered the most. It wasn't their enemies who were trapped in pain. It was them. One woman confided in me, her voice trembling with regret. "I wish I had forgiven my sister when she was still alive. Now, it's too late." Those words stayed with me, echoing in my mind. In that moment, I understood. A heavy heart only burdens the one who carries it. I made a choice. I forgave, not because they deserved it, but because I deserved peace. I let go of past pain, of words that could never be taken back, of regrets that could never be undone. And suddenly, I felt free, lighter, as if I had been carrying stones in my heart for decades, and at last, I had put them down. If there is someone in your life you need to forgive, do it now, not for them, but for you. Because at the end of life, peace is worth more than pride. And when the final chapter comes, you don't want your last thought to be, "I wish I had let go sooner." Number 7. Every day is a gift. Don't waste it. One morning in the nursing home, I woke up to hear that a resident had passed away in his sleep. The night before, he was laughing with us at dinner, talking about his childhood memories, sharing stories of a life well lived. And just like that, he was gone. In that moment, something inside me shifted. I realized that life is fragile. No matter how healthy, how strong, how careful we are, tomorrow is never promised. We waste so much time on things that don't matter, on worries that never happen, on regrets we cannot change. We hold on to grudges. We push aside the things that bring us joy. We tell ourselves, "One day, I'll do this. One day, I'll say that." But that one day never comes, until suddenly, it's too late. The biggest lesson I learned? Live while you still can. Don't wait for the perfect time to enjoy life. It doesn't exist. The perfect time is right now. Tell the people you love how much they mean to you. Make memories, not excuses. Appreciate every sunrise as if it's your last. Laugh every chance you get, because when your time comes, you won't regret the things you did. You'll only regret the moments you let slip away. Every day is a gift. Don't waste it. 2 months in a nursing home may not seem like much, but it was enough to change me, enough to make me realize that life is not measured in years but in moments. And the quality of those moments is shaped by the choices we make every single day. Some people in that nursing home had no regrets. They had lived well, loved deeply, and were at peace. Others wished they had done things differently. More than anything, I learned that aging is not about how many years you have left, but how you spend the ones you do. I no longer fear aging, but I do fear wasting time. If you're watching this, no matter how old you are, remember this. Don't wait until it's too late to value your health, your relationships, and your sense of purpose. Because when you're sitting in a room with nothing but memories, you'll wish you had made more of them. Life is short. Live with meaning. Love without hesitation. And most of all, never take a single day for granted.